story.
You want to see?
Mm.
I can share.
I just want to see it more. So I can, if I sit there, I can't see it.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayam Udiraye
Tatodayam Udiraye
Nasta Praeshva Bhadreshu
Nasta Praeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki.
Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, I would like to give my obeisances to Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to Narayan Rishi, the foremost of the humankind, the Mother Saraswati, Goddess of Learning, and to Vyasadeva, the author. By regularly reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very conquest of knowledge, and by rendering service to the holy Vaishnavas, almost everything which is troublesome to the heart will be gradually vanquished. Thank you very much for giving me this honor to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, and please give me your blessings that I can do it for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, and please forgive me the offenses that I make. We are reading from 7th canto, the knowledge of God, chapter 7, what Prahlada Maharaj heard in the womb. Yadartha iha karmani
Yadartha iha karmani
Vidvanmani asakrin nara
Vidvanmani asakrin nara
Karotyato viparyasam
Karotyato viparyasam
Amogam vindate phalam
Amogam vindate param
Yadartha iha karmani
Yadartha iha karmani
Vidvanmanya sakrin naraha
Vidvanmanya sakrin nara
Karotyato viparyasam
Karotyato viparyasam
Amogam vindate phalam
Amogam vindate param Yadartha iha karmani Yadartha iha karmani Vidvan manya sakrin nara
Vidvan manya sakrin nara
Karotyatu viparyasam
Karotyatu viparyasam
Amogam vindate phalam
Amogam vindate phalam Yadartha hiya karmani
Yadartha hiya karmani
Vidvan mani asakrin nara
Vidvan manya sakrin nara
Karotyatu viparyasam
Karotyatu viparyasam
Amogam vindate phalam
Amogam vindate phalam
Yadata hiya karmani
Yadata iha karmani
Vidyanmani asaktin naraha
Vidvanmani asakrinara
Karoti yato viparyasam
Karotyato viparyasam
Amogam vidate param
Amogam vidate param.
Yadata iha karmani
Yadata hiya karmani
Vidvanmani asakrin nara
Vidyanmani asaktin naraha
Karotyato viparyasam
Karotyato viparyasam
Amogam vindate phalam
Amogam vidate param
Yadata iha karmani
Yadata hiya karmani
Vidvamani asakri naraha
Vidyanmani asaktin
Nara
Karoti yato viparyasam
Karotyato viparyasam
Amogham vindate phalam
Amogam vidate param
Synonyms.
Synonyms. Yat,
Yad,
of which,
of which,
Arthe,
Arte,
for the purpose,
on purpose,
Iha,
Iha,
in this material world,
in
this material world,
Karmani,
Karmani,
many activities,
many activities,
in factories, industries,
in factories, industries,
speculation, and so on.
speculation, and so on,
Vidvat,
Vidvan,
advanced in knowledge.
advanced knowledge,
Mani,
Mani,
thinking himself to be.
thinking himself to be
Asakrit,
asakrit,
again and again.
again and again,
Naraha,
Naraha,
a person.
person,
Karoti,
Karoti,
performs.
form,
Ataha,
Nara,
from this.
from this
Viparyasam,
Viparyasam,
the opposite.
the opposite,
Amogham,
Amogam,
unfailingly.
unfailingly,
Vindate,
Vindate,
achieves.
achieves
Phalam,
Phala,
result.
result
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. A materialistic person, thinking himself very advanced in intelligence, continually acts for economic development. But again and again, as enunciated in the Vedas, he is frustrated by material activities, either in this life or in the next. Indeed, the results one obtains are inevitably the opposite of those one desires. Purport. No one has ever achieved the results he desired from material activities. On the contrary, everyone has been frustrated again and again. Therefore, one must not waste his time in such material activities for sensual pleasure, either in this life or in the next. So many nationalists, economists, and other ambitious persons have tried for happiness, individually or collectively. But history proves that they have all been frustrated. In recent history, we have seen many political leaders work hard for individual and collective economic development, but they have all failed. This is the law of nature, as clearly explained in the next verse. Once again, the verse, please repeat after me. A materialistic person,
a materialistic person,
thinking himself very advanced in intelligence,
thinking himself very advanced in intelligence,
continually acts for economic development.
continually acts for economic development.
But again and again,
But again and again,
as enunciated in the Vedas,
as enunciated in the Vedas,
he is frustrated by material activities,
he is frustrated by material activities,
either in this life or in the next.
either in this life or in the next.
indeed, the results one obtains
Indeed, the results one attains
are inevitably the opposite of those one desires.
are inevitably those opposite of those one desires.
Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnana Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Janananda Goswami Iti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Vishatarane Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So the points that Prahlada Maharaj is giving in this verse is that materialistic person acts for economic development but is frustrated by material activities and he gets the opposite result. And one must not waste time in material activities for sensual pleasure. So, if we don't want to be this materialist person, we need the knowledge. And we need the knowledge what is the difference between material and spiritual. And Srila Prabhupada is giving this in purport of, or in one lecture on the Bhagavad Gita. He's saying that we must in all circumstances understand that Krishna, although he is far away from us, he is still with us, he is within us. This is called knowledge. In Bhagavad Gita, it says, Sarvasya Chaham Hridi Samivishta. I am situated in everyone's heart. Sukhridam Sarvabhutanam. I am the friend of everyone. So we need to know that we got the greatest powerful friend in Krishna. And he is with me. This is the knowledge. And Prabhupada says that formula is that we have to become detached from the result of the work and be situated in full knowledge. So if we are not situated in knowledge, we cannot be detached from the work that we are doing. And how do we detach from the work? Anybody have any suggestion?
Offer the results to Krishna.
Correct.
Haribol.
Haribol. Some burfis for. So offer the results. This is yagya or sacrifice. And what is the sacrifice? Our conception right now is I am the proprietor of everything. But the truth is, as said in Ishopanishads, first mantra, Ishavasam idam sarvam. The Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, or Krishna, He is the proprietor. So this sacrifice means that we give voluntarily. And just like we imagine that we have something, that we are proprietor of something, but we give it voluntarily. And to whom we give, for who is the sacrifice?
Krishna.
Krishna, Brahman. Krishna is the Supreme Brahman, therefore sacrifice is Brahmarpanam. And the things that we are sacrificing, they belong to the Supreme Brahman. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavir, Brahmagno. And the fire on the altar is the energy of the Supreme Brahman. So, if we in this way execute the duties of our living condition, then the result will be that at the end we will attain this Brahman, or we will attain Krishna, and this process is called Krishna consciousness. So we execute our duties, and we have our duties in our position in the Varnashram system. But in the higher conception of life, one who has attained the higher spiritual realization, he knows that there is nothing material. How is that? Why is there nothing material if the Bhagavatam verse is speaking of materialists? Anybody can say that?
It's not that it's not existing, but it's temporary. But it's temporarily existing.
Yes, this is one aspect, this is true. And there is another one. That Bhagavad Gita says that there are two energies working, and one is inferior energy and the other is superior energy. So, if the energy is emanating from the source of the energy, is there any possibility of dividing the energy and the energetic? And Prabhupada says this is not possible, just like you cannot divide heat from the fire or the illumination from the light. If there's no heat, then the fire has no meaning. So if the energy is separated from the energetic has no meaning. So Krishna says there are two kinds of nature: inferior nature, superior nature or higher, and inferior nature. So the material nature is called inferior nature, the material energy. And why is it inferior? Because the matter has got no incentive. Incentive, that means it is dead. Without the touch of spirit, the matter cannot work, like the car and the driver. But in the higher sense, it is not inferior because it is emanating from the Supreme. It comes from the Supreme. And there is no difference between the Supreme and his energy. Shakti Mator Abed. Shakti is the energy, and Shakti Mator is the one who possesses the energy. And Abed means that they are non-different. Like, by the same electric energy, we get the heat and the cold. We get the heat in the heating, and we get cold in the refrigerator. And Prabhupada gives another example, that we have an electric powerhouse which is far away from our houses, but still the electrical appliances are connected to this powerhouse. Or just like the sunshine, in the morning you will find the sunshine in our room, although the sun is millions of miles away from us. So similarly, in all circumstances, we should know that Krishna is with us, is within us, and this is called knowledge. Sarvasya chaham hridi sanivishtata. I'm situated in everyone's heart. I'm the friend of everyone. So, we have different kinds of yagas. In previous ages, we had yagas of meditation and the great sacrifices in sacrificial arenas. But all this is not possible in Kali Yuga. Shri Shri Radha Parisishwar ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Sundara Devi ki Jai. Shri Shri Nitai Sutta ki Jai. So, what kind of yagya can we do?
Yagya Sankirtana Arya.
Oh,
Chant Hare Krishna.
Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam
Tango.
Sangopagastra Parshadam Yagnai Sankirtana Praye Prakashanti Sumedha Yajanti Sumedha.
Jai.
In this age of Kali, those who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord accompanied by his associates by performing this Sankirtan Yagya. So, Prabhupada says, sacrificing your time and sitting down here and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is the best kind of sacrifice recommended by Lord Chaitanya for this age. He said that Kalam Nasti, Eva Nasti, Eva Gatir Anyata, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. So he is giving 3 times. It's like somebody is stressing. Like you got to do it, you got to do it, you got to do it. So there is no other way than singing the name of Lord Hari. Or in the Bible, in Matthew's Gospel, it said, for where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. And now, somebody may ask, why I have to be so austere and only sit here and chant this Hare Krishna and give up everything beautiful in the material life, the family, friends, the movies, the dancing, parties. Why to give up all that? And even devotees will ask, why is this everything happening? Why are my wife and family so suffering? Because of me, because I want this to do Yuga Dharma, Sankirtan Yagya, and they are all miserable, and they say that I'm brainwashed and that I'm crazy because I'm leaving everything and I'm so unnaturally austere.
What is the austerity you talk about?
So why to give up all this nice life? And there was a devotee in Germany in the early beginning of the movement, and he was coming to Sunday programs and having Sunday parties with devotees, but he was telling that he has big problems because his wife is seducing him to or his partner, I don't know, but she's seducing him to illicit sex, like contraception and this. And he was getting more and more frustrated, and then he hanged himself. So cannot we have a nice life with good family and a good relationship? Or can't we not do good for our country or society in general, to achieve world peace, to have wonderful time? So we can see in the history, East Bloc, it collapsed. Yugoslavia was a wonderful country where we lived with 6 nations and 3 religions. Everybody was so happy visiting the neighbors, and they were making so much effort to connect the 6 nations and 3 religions. And there were mixed marriages, and they were composing songs about Comrade Tito. And I was in the primary school, and every morning we would come in every class. We had the murti of Tito, the bista, how do you say, the bust. And we would gather every morning, and all the classes, all the children would sing songs composed for Tito. And we had this pioneer clothes with blue cap and a red scarf and white shirt, and we were recite every morning we would give an oath to Tito and Yugoslavia that we will protect the socialist constitution of Yugoslavia. So we were, only thing what was missing was a puja plate to do puja for Tito. And but Yugoslavia collapsed, and the same people who were teaching me that Tito is the greatest and that we should be eternally devoted to Tito, the same people were saying that this, in the 90s, that this is all nonsense, and that we should, that everybody who is for Yugoslavia, that he is a traitor, and we should fight the Serbs and kill them to protect ourselves. So Prabhupada is saying that this doesn't work, and the United Nations doesn't work. There are only more and more flags, because there is no peace on earth. It is an illusion. Because everything in this material world is temporary, and it is not permanent. And this is what we cannot understand, that all these things are impermanent. Even in Krishna, we may think we are having something permanent, like we are in the temple. But brahmacharis also had to leave the ashrams. And why does these things happen? Because Krishna wants us to understand that this material world is impermanent and that we cannot take shelter in it. So people might say, where is Krishna? Is he almighty and is he all merciful? If he is all merciful, why is this whole thing happening? Then maybe he's not almighty. But Prahlada Maharaj says that materialistic person acts for economic development, but is frustrated by material activities, and he gets the opposite result. So one must not waste time in material activities for sensual pleasure. So, as we understand that the nature of this world is that Dukalayam Ashashvatam, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that after attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion, never return to this temporary world which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. So, why is Krishna doing it for us? Like a mother who is gone out to this garden where children play, and the child might get absorbed in playing, and mother says, let's go home, but the child does not want to listen. So then mother might hide herself from the child, and child may see that mother is gone, and he might get scared, and he might start crying. Wow, why, where are you gone? And angry. But the mother will hide to teach him a lesson until he starts really to cry from the heart, and then she will appear. So similarly, Krishna may look that he has left us, but he's doing that because we learn from the suffering. And how is Lord Chaitanya teaching us? Ashlishyava padari ratam pinashtumam adarsham marmahatam karotuva yata tata va vidadatu lampato yat prananatastu sena vanapra. I do not know anyone except Krishna as my Lord, and he shall always remain as such, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace, or he can make me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, but he is always my worshipful Lord, unconditional. So Ramayana is full of suffering. Tomorrow we will celebrate the appearance of Lord Ramachandra. And in Ramayana, Sita suffers. Rama's parents suffer because Rama is leaving. Then Sita suffers. Rama will banish her from the kingdom, and Rama will suffer. And the citizens of Ayodhya suffer. So Ravana was so captivated by this material energy that it was so alluring to him. He had to kidnap Sita. And we are also captivated, we are enchanted. So how do we change our conditioned nature? We follow the great persons like Jatayu and Lakshman, who really loved Ramachandra, who did not want to separate the energies from the Lord. So Jatayu, we know the story where Jatayu, he saw Ravana kidnapping Sita and taking her away. He was a vulture, but he was a special vulture. He was a devotee of Sri Ramachandra. So when he saw Ravana taking Sita away, he attacked with all his powers, although he knew that he was old and in not so powerful as Ravana, but he attacked with all his heart and fought bravely until Ravana severed his one hand, but still he fought. And Ravana cut his second hand, wing. Okay, he was a vulture. And he fell down. And Ravana went away laughing, but still Jatayu remained there lying and shouting, Ram, 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 calling for Ram to show him where Ravana took Sita. So Lakshman also, when Hanuman at the end, he was looking for Sita and he brought this ring of Sita to Lakshman to ask if this is Sita's ring and or some piece of jewelry, and Lakshman said that never, he cannot say that because never he looked above the ankles of Sita. So much he was respectful to Sita and Ramachandra. So what do? It can look so austere. We renounce everything. We don't look anymore at women in our life. We fight until our hands are chopped off. So what kind of renunciation we do? Anybody has some suggestion how to do renunciation?
Full renunciation.
You see,
We are ourselves.
you told us that everything belongs to Krishna. So where's the question of renouncing anything? We don't own anything. We have nothing. We have to renounce the false idea that I own something. That's what we have to renounce. The false idea that I have something, I own something, or someone. Nothing is mine. Krishna says, Nir Mama. Just listen. This is the renunciation. That nothing is mine, everything is for Krishna. And as far as you say austerity, what is our austerity? To get up early in the morning, even the materialists will say, early to bed, early to rise, make someone healthy, wealthy, and wise. So it's not really austere. And you say we're giving up dancing, we give up dog dancing, but we dance in kirtan for the pleasure of the Lord. So we are not giving anything up. We are dancing, we are eating the best food. They cannot imagine what nice prasadam we have. And I told my mother I was going to become a vegetarian. That's before I joined. And she said, "What are you going to eat?" People that I knew, also friends, they all couldn't imagine. But I said, we are eating better than you. They have never tasted the things that we taste.
Thank you.
What do you think?
Yeah, when I heard. So, you want to-
Here in Sasera, in this little temple, every evening we get a wonderful cake. And Srikan. Where else can you get this? So, it's wrong to say we are suffering and so it's austere and oh. So,
Yeah, thank you. One of the early lectures that I heard is that a devotee couple, when they started to practice Krishna consciousness, one of the first things they did, they threw away their bathing tub from their bathing tub, you know.
bathtub.
There is like a shower in the bathroom, but somewhere there is a bathing which you.
It's a bathtub.
So they threw it away from the bathroom. They get rid of it because it's too luxurious. They want to do austerities.
So that is not the idea.
Yeah.
You know? We
We
have to
should-
use things in Krishna service.
Yeah.
We should listen what Prabhupada says about renouncement.
Yeah, he's
Renouncement, because he gives us the most blissful renouncement is just to know that everything belongs to Krishna, so there's no renouncement. And Krishna is always smiling and always happy, so to understand that everything belongs to Krishna makes us also smiling and happy. There is no renouncement.
We don't have to go through our bathtubs.
If to be happy it's a renouncement for you, yeah, this is a renouncement of his love.
Lochandas Thakur says, what Lord Chaitanya has given us is Kevalananda Kanda. It's only joyful.
Yeah.
Only joyful. And when a reporter asked Prabhupada, what do you devotees do for recreation? Because he taught the field so austere, like you say, and we're suffering. So he wanted to know, what do we do for recreation, pleasure, activity? And Prabhupada said, everything we do is recreational. He didn't see there was anything. So we have to change our angle of vision and not have a however, when we change our angle of vision, then we will see everything that we could do here. It's not hard, not austere. Yogis, they have it hard.
yeah. So we do Yukta Vairagya.
Yeah.
So we don't, Prabhupada said we do little austerities, not like to make our heart hard, but we use everything in Krishna service. And we live simple life. It was a few days ago, we were washing laundry with Dalita Prabhu and we sometimes wash together. And I put a bag of cotton bag that had some curcuma inside powder because it spilled. So it's washed with our dotis and his doti had stains from curcuma. And I thought, oh, he's going to kill me, when he sees I destroyed his doti. But he said, okay, no problem. I renounce. I have doti with curcuma. Yellow stains, it's not a big deal. So this is wonderful that devotees are so simple and they are happy with little things. And this is when I remember the most joyful moments in my materialistic life is when I was accepted to the music university, which I thought that it was impossible that I will ever be accepted, and I could then be part of the music university. And when I got the job in the orchestra with these great musicians, and when the girl of my dreams accepted me, and I was so happy in these moments. But these things are all temporary. The girl kicked me later, and when the studies were finished, then I couldn't stay in the school anymore, and orchestra, okay, I quit, but I don't know if they are playing now in COVID, probably not. So we have to live all these things, but what we have here is so precious that we have association with devotees. And it is so beautiful to be with devotees. And this is the eternal process. When we leave these bodies, we will keep doing this. We will keep worshipping Krishna, connected to Krishna. So, how do we know this? Because Krishna, if we speak to him, he will listen and he will show himself. But Prabhupada says not to a nonsense. So we need to follow Guru and Shastra. So why to follow the Guru? There is one story in the end of Ramayana when the Ravana was killed and his army was defeated, and Hanuman came to Ashoka Grove where Sita was captured, and she was guarded by Rakshasas, and she was harassed by Rakshasas. So Hanuman came, and there were still these Rakshasas, these witches, around Sita, and Hanuman said, okay, Ravana is killed. He asked Sita, I can just kill all these Rakshasas and make you free. And she said no, and she told him a story when a hunter was chasing a tiger, and this tiger was very powerful, he could not be tamed. So the situation reversed and the tiger was chasing the hunter. Until the hunter climbed a tree, and on this tree above him was a bear. So the tiger said to the bear, my dear bear, this hunter is our mutual enemy, so let's kick him. So you kick him down and I will finish him. And the bear said no, because this hunter climbed my tree and he is a guest in my home. And I cannot treat a guest like this, I cannot kick the guest. So the tiger said then to the hunter, look at that bear, just kick him down and I will eat him instead of you. So the hunter thought this is a good idea, and he climbed and he kicked the bear, but somehow the bear managed to grab a branch while he was falling, and he hanged and he climbed back. So the tiger said at the end, just see that hunter, what kind of person he is. You wanted to save him, but he betrayed you. And you were giving him shelter, but he betrayed you completely. So now you kick him down and I will kill him. You cannot trust him. And the bear said, I cannot do that, because even if my guest is misbehaving and acting in totally inappropriate way, that doesn't give me a license to act inappropriately. So I have to be proper. So this bear is our Guru, who is so noble to accept us, even with all our mistakes and all the offenses that we made to him. And there is an interesting thing in Russian and Slavic languages. The bear is called medved. And it is not a Sanskrit word, but it is composed from two words which come from Sanskrit. One is med, with honey, from madur, med. And veg is Veda, the knowledge. So the bear is the one who has the knowledge of the honey.
And milk, so we see honey of this. Milk, say honey,
Med. Mm-hmm.
say honey.
Yeah. So he knows that honey is good and he knows how to find the honey. So Guru knows where is the honey, and he knows that the honey is in the serving Krishna, that this is the real joy. and the real pleasure. So sometimes people are afraid of the Guru because his tongue is like a thunderbolt and his intelligence is so sharp that he can expose everything. But he's doing everything for our best interest, and he's melting our heart with his noble character. And Srila Prabhupada took so much austerities to come to the West alone, but his heart is soft as a rose, and he cries, and he just cannot stand that people are suffering, and he also feels Krishna suffering. So
Okay.
to conclude this, I will give one example to make this point of connecting everything to Krishna. In Zagreb, in Croatia, there is one special museum which is called Museum of Broken Relationships. This museum consists of items what people brought which were left after their relationships with their partners were broken. So in these museums are different items like t-shirts or jewelry, and then everybody would write something down. This is from my relationship which ended so and so on. And this museum was traveling all around the world with these things, and it's interesting. And I was thinking if I would put something in this museum to show people my broken relationship with Krishna, what would this item be? But according to this, I would have to put everything, because everything is related to Krishna. So, but the materials say that the broken ways you cannot rebuild, repair. They often say it when the relationship is broken, but this is the difference, that our relationship with Krishna is eternal. So let's put everything in the Museum of Broken Relationships, and let's connect everything to Krishna, and let's remember that if the materialist person acts for economic development, he's frustrated and he gets the opposite result. So we do the Sankirtan Yagya for the pleasure of Krishna by singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And Krishna is so merciful, and he is full of compassion. He is our best friend, and he is a person, and he sees us and hears us, and he will never ever leave us. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Charan ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I didn't ask if you have any commentaries, but